Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for week 2 of NECC activation. We are finally about to start closing out the activation part of the season and get into the real matches, but of course we first have to get things done with over here. So tonight we will be seeing LVC take on Clark University to kick off the night here in about a minute or two. We do have all the players in the lobby, so we're pretty much ready to get started. And then after this match, we'll have another best of 1 against Kettering University. So if you guys were here last week, you would have saw LVC take on UAH Yellow and also NJCU, or New Jersey City if you're unfamiliar with them, where LVC would take the first map, which was Bind, 13-7, and they would fall to NJCU on Bind, 13-7. So if you couldn't guess where I'm going with this, map 3 for the start of this season in activation, the first map of the night, is also Bind. Is it going to end 13-7? I have no idea. But I find it very interesting that we managed to get the same map 3 straight times in this activation. We've been here. We've played 3 matches, or we've played 3 matches, or we're about to have played 3 matches, and every single one of them was on Bind. And I just find that stat very funny. But outside of that, let's take a look here at a couple of the stats. Not too much that really stands out, I should say, across these players here. We're going to see one of the biggest things that I do want to point out, though, is Modius, the freshman, one of the freshmen on this roster. There's a couple of new players around here, but I do want to point him out. He went 35-28 across the 2 maps last week. He has a 1.25. Of course, very small sample size in the exact same map twice, so not a ton, but still very interesting stuff to go off of. But we are already loaded into the map here. Let's take our transition over. As you can see there, the teams are incorrect, and I was hoping that it would let me switch it, but the overlay is not being kind to me today, so let's refix that. Or not. I guess the overlay is just broken today. There we go. Finally. Anyways, we are back here on Bind to start off week number 2 of activation, and we are going to have an LVC comp that is pretty much the same as what we saw last week. A little bit different. We didn't have a Viper last time around, but Juice will be picking that up. Mozzie going to be on the brim, so a lot of smokes for the side of LVC. They'll also be starting on the attack first. Modius going to be on the sky. Crisper going to be taking up the duelist role with B-Dog on the Killjoy. Very interested to see how Crisper performs on the duelist role. He was playing duelist a bit last weekend, or last week, and he ended up having some decent games to say the least, but we'll have to check in with him to see how he's going this time around. I did now just realize I did these stats literally as the stream was starting, so I did end up missing Crisper's stats. That's a bit unfortunate, but I will make sure to get those properly done before we get into the next set of matches next week. I'll make sure to have all of this stuff properly set up. We are still, I still am a one-man production crew over here, unfortunately, so we do get some scuff every so often. But now we are headed into the match here. Bind. Map number 1. I say map number 1. This is the best of 1, so regardless, it is the only map we'll see, at least against Clark. Maybe we can finally get something different when we go into the next map against Kettering University. But, of course, that's for about an hour roughly from now, and we will have to deal with this one first. Bind, LVC, Clark University. We are now going to load in here in just a second. I forgot Valorant broke the way how long it takes to load into a lobby. I'm curious though. I already am seeing role changes in the second week of the season. Last week we had B-Dog on the duelist role, and he did pretty decently. if we pull up the stats here, B-Dog had a solid map, 13 and 13, 8 assists. He didn't need to do a whole lot either, so that may have factored into putting him on a slower roll on that Killjoy. Maybe play a bit more around the utility rather than forcing someone who isn't necessarily a Valorant player into fights when he doesn't need to take them. And I would imagine that's somewhere where the mindset of putting Crisper on the role there would come into play. So currently, I do apologize. I wish this game would load, but that's just not happening. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but hopefully we can load in pretty soon. So as we do wait here, in fact, I'm just gonna pull back this cam here until we load into the map, as you can at least see something instead of just bind into the teams. I think the lobby crashed here, to be quite honest. That is a very high possibility from what it looks like right now. And never mind. We are loaded into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Finally, we are now into map number 1. I'm not really sure why that took so long to load, but regardless, we are now ready to get this started. As LVC looking to go to 2-1, looking to make a statement with this new roster. Of course, if you weren't here last week, I'll explain this again. So over the past few months, over the offseason, we ended up losing John Cook and Zario to graduation, and Sardog unfortunately made the decision to leave LVC. So we have lost 3 of our 5 players, and we are now filling here. We did get a recruit in Modius, a freshman, been playing very good. We also picked up B-Dog, who is the Overwatch captain. He's been performing decent. So very interested to see how things get kicked off here. And it looks like we're going to have a one-on-one. Let's see, right on the other side of Pallet, over in B long. But for now, it's not going to mean much. The space being taken up all the way on the other side of B, though. Hookah could be an opening here for LVC. But Pallet very vigilant here. Sees the shoulder, misses the shot, though. And isn't inside the teleport, so has to just walk away. He's going to come in. So really, no damage done outside of the shield. Sishi making sure these players are not coming through B long, and it certainly won't be, as the timing there is not great for Lumen. Does at least manage to stay alive, but Lumen's going to have a big task here, and it's going to be an immediate kill for Juice. And look at that, Mozzie picking up Stitch Snake, and now it's down to a 3v5 already. Spicy looking to make their way through over towards U-Haul. Shots are not there, though. Juice holding the angle, gets the kill. And now this is certainly a round for LVC. Not much utility to work with if you are Clark. And you got the turn to take down Mozzie. Also holding the angle. Shot not going to go for Pallet. A flawless round for LVC. Mozzie finds 3 of his own to kick off this game. And a very good start for LVC. That's what you like to see if you're a fan of Lebanon Valley in this chat.
Toxins going up.
Looks like LVC going to play towards this B side of the map once again. They may go for this A push as well. They look to rotate, but Juice missing some shots, but so is Stitch Snake. This is a bit of a rough one for both sides, but eventually Juice will come out of it on top. And on the other side of the map, the rest of his team is already on the site. So Juice buys a lot of time there. The pressure now on B and now on Clark. As that one-on-one, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean a whole lot, but it does at least give LVC the time to hop onto B, plant the spike, and now just has to be our 3v5 retake here. It was 2v5. I looked at it wrong. 2v5 retake. for Clark, and Lumen not going to have a chance. Takes down B-Dog at least, so gets a consolation going into the bonus. In the end, though, it's not really going to be that much of a difference, as LVC now up 2-0. The Rifles now going to go the way of Clark. They do have their bonus to work with. Mozzie currently sitting at 6-0. If you're Clark, it's not the end of the world, but certainly a round you really want to win. If you are the side of Clark, get back into this game. It's usually what this bonus round is really meant for. You can see the space being taken by Stitch Snake. Crisper falls first blood to Clark. And that gun advantage is going to be huge, and making this round that much easier to take. But again, you still have to be able to hit your shots. We saw what happened last round with Juice and Stitch Snake. That was a tough one to witness happen. It'll be Modius and Mozzie here working through Hookah, trying to find an opening if they can get to one. Juice going to start pushing this out, though. Spicy falls. That's a rifle down. LVC not in a great spot to claim it just yet. And honestly, they might not be able to get this at all unless if they take the full sight, as that's right under the smoke. Mozzie will at least toss down a Molly, and he's going to take down Stitch Snake as well. Lumen playing by themselves just rushes through. Does get the kill with the Vandal. Flashbang is out now, too. But this is going to have to be another retake for Clark, and LVC, all they have to do is play these short positions, and they'll take this round. If they play their cards right, this will be their round to take, and really one that they have no right to be winning as B-Dog takes down Pallet. Now Lumen just trying to find anything. Juice, Modi is going to combine for the last two, and now a 3-0 lead and Rifles in the hands of LVC. As they look to trade for skins. And they at least managed to pick up a couple of the ones they were looking for. LVC now with a 3-0 lead, and that's a very tough kill to swallow if you are Clark University. Just stuck with a couple Buckies in hand and some small shields about. Gonna look to save and rotate for next. LVC gonna look to claim space, and this early fight for Lumen might be a bit disastrous, but at least managed to get away. Doesn't get their head taken off just yet. Stitch Snake. Modius just a bit too high on the aim, but it will end up going his way through the smoke. So regardless, Modius will come through with that one. And another first blood to LVC. Spike is over towards B, though. LVC are going to need to rotate this over, and that's what they've been succeeding with so far. They've been starting with this split push over towards B, really heavily favoring that B presence, but ultimately it's been the A site where their success has come. Spicy in a very good position with this Bucky. It's pretty much exactly where you'd want him. Sishi gonna look to support, but the smokes are coming out. So this may be a bit tough for Spicy to make it work, and pulls out the nade instead. That's going to be a disastrous play for Spicy, leaving Sishi all on the site by themselves. Modius cleans that one up easily. And all of a sudden, this round has come to a crumble. Granted, it was a save, so it's not the end of the world. You would have liked to at least see one kill come out of this for Clark. Take a rifle, at least make this costly, but it'll be down to Pallet to see if that can happen. There's really not much of a reason not to challenge this, though. At least try and catch someone off guard, but for now, it's a good shot for Pallet. Takes down Modius. So at least one rifle out of their hands. It's going to be some money off the board, another 2,900 to go down. Might be more of a long-term issue, though, than a short-term. If you can see the economy there for LVC, the credits are more than in their favor. This is going to have to be a force as well for the side of Clark. Pallet only up, though. Where does Pallet decide to play this is, I think, the deciding factor of this round. Pallet's shot, as we saw at the end of that last round, has been clean. So if Pallet can at least find 1-2 picks, that could be at least a good start. But as I'm saying that, I mean, Juice all the way over at A by himself takes down one, but Stitch Snake at least gets it back this time around. It'll be Pallet, not going to connect on the shot. Crisper spotted, shot not going to go. So Pallet has to back away all the way through elbow. This is not the angle you want to be holding if you have an op in your hands. But there's not really much that Pallet can do in this current moment. LVC have taken the site, and now B-Dog going to go for the plant. The execution has been clean. Didn't even have to get any kills. They just had to force the players off site. As now we'll check in with Stitch Snake in 2 or 3 seconds here. B-Dog going to be the one that matters. Pallet, though, takes off the head of Mozzie with the operator. And now this retake looks a bit better. Look at that. The nade going to cut off Stitch Snake. Lumen cuts off his own teammate. Pallet not going to get anything from it. B-Dog is not aware. He's not aware. But look at that from B-Dog. Paranoia. Not 100% sure where Stitch Snake was looking. As B-Dog takes that off and just tosses it off the map. Doesn't want any part of that. And reasonably so. I mean, even so, even if B-Dog falls there, that's still a 1v3 with 0 time remaining. But you like to see that if you are a fan of him in the chat, and I know he's certainly got a fair amount of followers over there. And look at this. 2 judges now from the side of Clark. There's really not much they can do here. Pallet, though, takes off the head of Mozzie again. This time with the Headhunter. He's been the one shining star so far for Clark. Has his ultimate. The Tour de Force could come in handy. I don't think we'll see it this round, but if they do fall to down 6-0, I would like to imagine they would see it pull it out here. Lumen, head gone. Clean shot from Modius. The ADS gonna help him there.
Not ready yet.
Shishi. I'm sorry. I'm gonna butcher this name the entire map. I really do apologize. Shishi gonna try to back up here. Gets hit by the dog though, and the Viper's Pit is also out here for Juice. So this is a free plant for LVC. The nade gonna take out Shishi. Crisper finds 2. One with the nade, the other with the weapon. Pallet off the map. Stitch Snake wanting to push out here, but doesn't have the ability. That nade gonna block him off. Here comes Spicy, though. Tries to grab the Sheriff. Does just that. No one really watching this angle. So he's going to have to peek out right now. Getting the info onto Crisper. But there's a high-low. That is going to be a very tough one to win if you are Spicy. Doesn't get either of them either. Stitch Snake now with a Paranoia in hand. Just trying to walk through. But Crisper going to peek the angle at the perfect time. And LVC are rolling in this one. 6-0. Clark struggling to hold the offensive presence of LVC. And realistically, if you are Clark, I mean, you have to force here. You have to get try to get something on the board.
That works.
And I think a lot of their problem is they're just trying to force pushes here. And it's just not working for them. They are getting outgunned and out-aimed by LVC. Clark needs to take it a bit slower here, and that's looking like what it's going to be this time around. Pallet pulls out the Tour de Force. A fantastic tool for holding down an entire site if your aim is good enough. 5 bullets in the chamber. And each one kill if it connects. Look at this rotate from LVC. They're going to play right into Pallet. But does he get the reposition in time? Here comes Pallet. Good timing. Shot connects. Juice finds Spicy, but Pallet immediate on the trade onto B-Dog. Pallet going for another shot. Not going to connect that time around. And now, this is going to be a very tough take if you are LVC. They are pinned here.
Cover going out.
Snake's position is alone, but if it isn't, now it is. You can see Modius just holding his angle.
Left.
Knows Stitch Snake is gonna be looking for something. Spots him. Maybe didn't quite know as much as
I've
I
got
thought.
your trail.
Look at this. Juice just gonna
Toxin
chase the
screen down.
rotation. There's not any time left, so LVC do have to go for the plant here. They don't really have a choice.
10 seconds
Crisper
left.
looking for a forward position, trying to keep his team to get this plant down. Will be Mozzie on the plant, does get the time for it. And look at this, Juice on the flank, only gets one. So it's a 2v2. Pallet gonna be the one to come in clutch here. That's a huge ult though. Takes Pallet down to 30 HP. Crisper pops his ultimate too. The rocket, does it connect? It does.
Enemy remaining.
The shot from Pallet a bit too low. Mozzie gonna take down Lumen. Each player winning their ones. And that's exactly what LVC needed if they wanted to take that round. Juice on the flank, a fantastic play. Gives the LVC, gives his teammates extra time to plant that spike. Make sure it does go down before the timer runs out. And LVC still perfect here through 7. 9 and 3 from Mozzie. 9 and 4 from Juice. And a clean 7 and 1 from Crisper. Everyone on the team contributing. A few ultimates get used in that last round, but ultimately it is to their benefit. Juice going to take down Lumen once again. These first bloods just not going the way of Clark, and Mozzie going to take down Spicy despite the judge. That TP is very loud. Now here comes Stitch Snake though. Paranoia connects, has 2 hit, only gets 1.
Standing.
And it's all down to Shishi.
Blinded.
Only Spectres in hand, so maybe just a blitz from the side of Clark. Doesn't quite connect the way they expected to. As Shishi just trying to see if they can get an exit kill, but it's not going to happen. Juice going to take the head off. And this is just a cruise for LVC.
Everyone makes fun of German efficiency.
They have been
Ah.
having a great time, I'd imagine.
Use all my
Shishi
gear.
still 0 and 8 without a kill. Spicy not much higher up at 1 and 8. It's going to have to be another save round if you are the Clark. And you can't really be giving up too many more of those. B-Dog also has the lockdown to work with. LVC doesn't have any other ultimates, but they don't really need them if they have this lockdown. They can just walk onto site, simply just walk forward. Speaking of ultimates, here comes Spicy. Pops the rocket. That's going to be a Rosa. No one in sight of it. But look at Spicy. Getting aggressive. The shots, though, does not have the gun for it. Tries to catch Juice off guard. Does, but doesn't have the weaponry. So trades are currently going in. Modius takes down Shishi. Stitch Snake, though, firing way too early. At least has the TP to work with. And now pops the ultimate on the teleport. Gonna go for that flank again. We've seen him do that a lot. Pallet with a good shot on the Crisper. His head is gone. The Headhunter going to do its job. Now a 3v3. Plant does go.
Spike planted.
Some LVC players are surrounded, though. Are they aware? They are not. And Stitch Snake going to catch Mozzie off guard. Now these players are stuck in tree. Flash connects, but it's going to hit everybody as Juice has to wide peek.
One enemy
That swing
remaining.
will go, though. Juice with 2. That's his 3rd on the round. Now they don't have to do a single thing. Just have to force Lumen into an engagement. Flash connects. And again, Lumen just not with much to work with.
One enemy
Does at least
remaining.
take off the head of Juice. But there's not a lot of time. Modius playing it very smart. Flash out. And there's the head of Lumen off of his body. LVC now at 9-0. And there's just... There's not much to say at this point of the game. Just been a fantastic run of it for LVC. We are going to see at least a bye, though, coming in for Clark. If they want to get back into this game, they need to start here. They have the weapons now to work with. They don't have a ton of ultimates, but they do at least have those Seekers. That can be very good information later in the round, especially when it comes down to those 2v2s, those 3v3s. They have not been able to take themselves. One player I would like to highlight, though, from the side of Clark that I haven't talked a ton about is Stitch Snake. He's been getting a lot of those early picks for the side of Clark. He's been pretty much their man and be long the entire game, and he's at least gotten his one, but you do need to do a bit more than that sometimes. He's going to be integral to holding them off this site, but Juice on the other end does find one. Trade goes in for Modius. Crisper will be the one to get credited with it. Pallet just not going to expect the angle from Juice. And he has just been on a heater this game. And now here comes the rest of LVC rotating over. Juice knows the site is his, at least most of it. B-Dog, the one with the spike in hand. He's going to be out of the range of his turret, but he doesn't really need it at this point in time. It's a 2v4. And he has pretty much all the util he needs. Charge going to be led by Stitched. Shishi going to be trailing behind. B-Dog not going to be able to get anything out of that. Stitch Snake gets the first.
Cover going out.
Just need to work on a methodical push here. They need to be decisive, though. They don't have a lot of time left. They just have to keep going, and that's going to help them. Crisper down. But look at this from Maz. He takes the heads off both. Going to shut that down before it has much of a chance to get started. 10-0. 3 more rounds, and LVC will slam the door shut on this match. Go to 2-1 on activation, and 3 players, almost 4, have 10 kills apiece. Juice at 16-5. He's been the catalyst at the start of these rounds for the side of LVC. Really been putting on a clinic here in game number 1. Look at this from Spicy, just gonna fly forward. Juice gonna get the kill. Tries to get something for Clark, and it's just not going their way. Crisper takes down Stitch. And again, the A site just gone. Completely captured by LVC. Here comes Pallet, now finds one. Can't 180 fast enough to get the second. B-Dog will get the cleanup. The hand holding is necessary there for LVC to get that trade. Shishi gonna at least pick up that judge. Gonna be something to work with there. Lumen has the Marshall. This pinch may at least be able to catch a couple off guard. Certainly not gonna be able to take the round, I don't believe, unless if it's a miracle. As Lumen's the last player left, at least takes the head off of Crisper. Well, not quite the head, but essentially that. Lumen not gonna check the angle, so Modius closes that one out now with 1 round left in the half. This very well could be a 12-0. 4 players on LVC have 10 apiece. B-Dog sitting at 5, but he hasn't really had to do a whole lot. He may have 200 damage total this game. And LVC are cruising right now. In this last round, this time just going to look for a full push over at A. Crisper already in showers. LVC looking to make a major presence, but that's going to help the side of Clark a lot. Lumen going to call in the command, and that will take away all the abilities in the area for LVC. And they're going to have to back down. Have to regroup on this one. Pallet with an operator. LVC may walk. When is the smoke going to go down? It just did. But that is a huge boom pot. Pushes Pallet out of the way. And that gives LVC a free rotation with no worries at all about a push from U-Haul. And this is a phenomenal play from LVC. Crisper takes down Spicy. Seeker's out from Modius, but he's not even going to need him. It's now a 2v5, and LVC have just done a daylight robbery of the B site. What could have been a 2-man collat, going to be a flawless round for LVC and a flawless half. 12-0. 1 round away from making a statement here in map number 1 of the night. Clark need a response. And now that LVC is on the defense,
Placing alarm bot.
I'm curious to see what they go for here. Everything is now even. Ults reset, guns reset, economy reset. Clark gonna get their fair shot here at LVC. Can they avoid the 13-0? Presence of a few players gonna be known. And Shishi is disconnected and now reconnected, so they're at least in the round. Crisper, though, takes down the first. Mozzie taking down the next. Stitch Snake not going to get anything. Lumen at least takes back Juice. But there's still a lot more work to be done. They at least have some control of the site, but they have to win a 2v4 if they want to take this game, or if they want to take at least a round here. They'll teleport out, now hop on to B. It's going to be B-Dog there to meet him.
One
Nice
enemy
move, though.
remaining.
Face this team now. It's all down to Lumen. Needs a 1v4. Can't even get the first. 13-0 in game number 1. LVC dominate in the first map of the night.
Defenders win.
13-0, and there's not really a whole lot to talk about there. There's not many times you'll see that happen, ladies and gentlemen. This may be the first. This could be the only 13-0 of the entire season. That is a very big possibility. But I mean, even look at the first bloods. Juice with 8 first bloods, only 2 total for the side of Clark University, and you're gonna see there 13-0. A very tough one to swallow for Clark, but certainly some lessons to be learned. But now we are going to head into the second map, which we do not know the map, and we do at least know who we're playing. It is Kettering University, but of course we will have to wait just a little bit. It's supposed to start at 9, so around 30 minutes from now. I will go to a quick little break here as we wait for the Kettering squad to be done with their first matchup of the night. We will be right on back as we get ready to kick off series number 2, LVC Kettering University. We'll see you guys back here in 30.
Here we go again.
cross my heart, hope to die. Just tell me what's on your mind. You say jump, how high? I need love, I'm by your side. I need your love, you're my favorite drug. I'm not giving up, you're my favorite drug. And I need your love, you're my favorite drug. I'm not giving up, I want all of your love. You're my favorite drug. I want all of your
Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the second map of the night after that 13-0 from LVC over Clark University. And man, was that a wild matchup. 13-0. Not something you see every day, I will say. Not something you see very often, especially in collegiate esports. But we are here ready for the final map of activation for Valorant. Finally, we don't have Bind. We have Lotus. 3 of the 4 maps in activation were Bind. So we are now on to Lotus. Finally something different. I was getting tired of Bind. I don't mind casting it, but man, if I'm seeing that thing 4 times in a row, I'm not having a good time. Now we are cruising on to Lotus. We have LVC going up against Kettering. So real quick, to just talk about a couple stats as I actually properly fixed my spreadsheet as we head on into the game here. LVC will be starting on the defense. Real quick, let me fix the overlay for y'all. And here we go. We are now into the agent select. Something I wanted to mention, though, real quick. There are 3 players fighting for the top KD spot on the roster. Modius, Juice, and Mozzie. 46 kills for Modius and Mozzie, 47 for Juice, 33 deaths apiece for Modius and Mozzie, and 34 for Juice. So 1.39s for Modius Mozzie and 1.38 KD for Juice. 3 players fighting for the top KD, and all have been looking phenomenal to start things out. But now we are here on Lotus. The agent select is getting put through. Juice will be on the Viper once again. We saw him on Viper last map, had a phenomenal showing. Mozzie on the Omen this time around. We'll see what he's able to create with those teleports and also throw down the smokes and the paranoias to get the team through. Crisper will be back on the Duelist on the Raze. Poke going to be playing up on the Sky, and Modius this time will be popping on to
Select
the
your
Killjoy.
agent.
I believe Modius was the Sky on a Bind, but obviously, as you can see here, we've subbed in Poke for B-Dog. Both of those players trying to get a healthy mix of playing, and we'll see if that leads to anything different. On the other side, though, from the side of Kettering, they are going to pull out the Omen as well, along with the Raze and Sky, but the difference here is the Breach and the Sage. Sage is not something I've been seeing a ton of as of late, but I personally really like Sage. I like seeing Sage in these bigger maps, allowing the team to cut off the entirety of a site, especially on a map like Lotus, where the entrances to all 3 sites, A, B, and C, are very tight windows, and you don't have a lot to work around if you want to go for a take. So, Sage certainly going to be on an island for a decent bit of this game, I'd imagine, to give themselves some time to work around the rotations. But we'll have to see how everything plays out. As I had said, and you can see it on your screen as well, LVC will be starting on the defense, so they'll get their good kick of it. Last map, we saw them on the attack. They obviously, as it was a 13-0, they went up 12-0 at in the end of the first half, and then took the first round of the second. Hopefully we get a bit of a closer match here, but we'll have to see how things play out, as we unfortunately once again have a year and a half before we actually get into the map. On the side of the stats sheet, though, there isn't anything else that's really too insanely out there. The only thing I'd mention would be maybe the ACS of Juice, which is 282 at the current moment, but we are now into the game finally, as LVC looking to get a setup going here. You can see the chat going on about. Feel free to read on while you're here. Is Poke trying to get in their heads early with the gaming major. I will be the first to say, though, he is not a gaming major. He is a digital communications major with half of this program at LVC. Which, if you're looking to come here, digital communications is a fantastic program. You get a lot of great experience in a bunch of technical fields, but that is not what we're here for. We're here for Valorant, and now we have started. Crisper already going to get stunned off the spawn. It's a 5-stack, but look at that. Crisper drawing first blood. The nade going to take down Bobby Tortilla. We'll We'll see you later for now. As Mozzie might be able to come out of the smoke with some intel. Spots the shoulder of Shadow. That's going to be a kill for him. And look at this. Mozzie takes down Dragon as well. Already the young gun getting started here.
One enemy
Look
remaining.
at that. Mozzie with a headshot onto Orbit. The wide swing. Just hit all his. Mozzie with 4. The centering is perfect from the kid. 4 on the round, a flawless round for LVC, and they look just as good as they did on Bind to kick off the second map of the night and the final map of activation for LVC. After this week, we will see where LVC gets placed, and the way that NECC works is there are several divisions: Navigators, Emergents, Challengers, Champions, and the new Legends division, which was invite only. That has already been announced for NECC. For the other 4, though, those will be determined by these activation matches, and also rank, I believe, gets accounted into it as well. We'll see where LVC places after this series. Well, not after this series, but in about a week from now. And then they will get their matches started the following week.
There.
Juice getting some intel early off the KJ utility from Modius. It's a C hit. Door does get open, but for now it's not really going to be one through. Crisper might have a forward position. He does! 3! No, look at him, and look at that wipe! A flawless round again, back-to-back for LVC. They fly right into the trap, and Crisper not even going to be checked in that close corner.
There.
Pops 3, and his teammates do the rest. I believe that was Juice and Modius taking one down. Poke currently at 0-0-0. He may look to have a perfect game of no kills, no deaths, no assists, if he can make his way to it. Of course, there's a long way to go before that, though. If this was a swift play, maybe that'd be a bit more feasible. Here comes Crisper, flying out towards A once again. Not going to find anything here, though. Juice now by himself, all alone on the C point. This should be a free one for Kettering. They don't want to take too much time. Mozzie, though, at least gets the rotate. And now it'll be a 5-on-5 retake for LVC. They at least have these players trapped on the site. But this site is very easy to hold for either side. Bobby Tortilla takes down 2. Modius only taking down Shadow. But here comes LVC. Also, I forgot to mention, this is the bonus round. The gun advantage is in favor of Kettering. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's down to a 2v1. Mozzie picks up the Vandal. Bobby Tortilla can't get away in time. 3-0 for LVC. And this has gone quickly. They are looking fantastic in these first 2 weeks. It is a 3-0 scoreline again
Placing sentry.
for LVC. Kettering are just left to wonder, how can they change things up? How can they make this attack better? As they look towards the A site once again. That flash, or that stun comes in. Poke. Gonna back away. No nade kill this time around, so they at least have the 5-on-5 for now. Mozzie again getting smoked off, and this time he's getting pre-fired, so he's gonna have to keep his position out of the way. Poke does have the ability to drop down here. He may look for it if he gets left of the shoulder. Crisper trying to pick someone off early, and he does. There goes Bobby Tortilla. Crisper doing the work. Poke is up here with him, though. At least does some extra damage. Crisper finds 3. Orbit gonna be put pretty weak. And look at Crisper. He's getting aggressive. He wants the eyes on the prize here.
Placing sentry.
Crisper now has eyes on
One
Spike.
enemy remaining.
Mozzie takes down Orbit. It's all down to Shadow. And I can't even switch to him fast enough before Mozzie takes his head off.
Okay,
This is
I
already
only have,
looking
like,
scary if you are Kettering.
78 grenades left. Hopefully that's enough.
Very good stuff for LVC. They have been clinical so far tonight, and they are continuing to show it. 17 straight rounds. That's just not something that happens every day.
Placing alarm bot.
Again, Kettering trying to get something going here. All the util from Modius's kit are stacked onto this C site, so they again can just hold off Kettering. Get those rotates in. That dog not going to spot a single person. And now Modius can start stalling. Team now in position for LVC. Outfit though could be huge, and there goes Shadow. He at least gets one before falling. Crisper's gonna pop the rocket, gets one. Juice trading out
remaining.
efficiently.
Spike down.
Centering is
C.
perfect. Again, a 2v1. Bobby Tortilla trying to clutch this time around. Last time couldn't get around the corner quick enough. Look at that. Head of Juice gets pinged there, but it was through a wall, so it's not gonna be an insta-kill. And there goes Bobby. As either side to pick from. And look at this plant spot.
Spike planted. My ult's ready.
Knows where the push is going to come from. And look at that. He's just turning the wrong way. Juice gets 4. And he is showing what he picked up from last year. We saw how he got progressively better and still has not hit a peak. Continues to improve as he looks on at the Champions logo. Sitting at 6-0 right now. Juice has his ult, has an entire site to lock down, and they don't even need to put util over here. If he gets some intel, if he gets the noise, just immediately pops the Viper's Pit, and that's pretty much a GG's, the wraps on the site, as long as he plays his life properly. Modius, though, still making sure he at least has something to work with. Mozzie gets flashed over at Beam. Now, finally, B going to be attacked by the side of Kettering. They have the space. They've taken as much as they can. They are just flying, but it doesn't matter. Mozzie finds 2. Poke finds another. Juice. Oh, it's a triple kill, quad kill from Orbit. Gets a triple with the rocket. It's not going to matter, but that was sketchy for just a second. It'll be Juice to close it out again. Orbit almost sending LVC back into orbit. I think Juice was on the flank, and that's how it works out. That was one of the scariest things I've seen so far. Now 6-0. And LVC again looking to cruise to a victory.
Here.
Can only see why. 0-6, not a stat line you want to see from your Sage. Getting that res is massive, and if you're not building the ult, just makes the game that much tougher. Stun again, gonna hit Juice.
Toxins going up.
Orbit. Man of the hour last round. A bit of damage from the nade, but it's gonna be really it. And look at this. I see Dragon isolated. As his team is rotating away. This may be a very good play for Kettering. As Poke just kind of roaming around. He might low-key kind of luck into something as Crisper gonna take down Dragon. But that's not really gonna matter. What's gonna matter is this fight, and Bobby rip Poke's head off. And now the odds are even. And here comes Orbit. This might be a very good position for Orbit. He's going to catch someone off guard. It's going to be Crisper, but he's looking the wrong way. Crisper. Shots are clean. Spike is down, but it is a 4v3 advantage for LVC. They got the wide swing onto Shadow.
Cover going out.
Put down, headshot there. Modius, Crisper combining for a few more, and that's all she wrote for Kettering in this round. Fantastic work from LVC on that retake. Everyone getting a kill. The only man struggling is Poke, and even so, he doesn't really need to do much. He's getting his util out, and he's getting the information. He's doing his job as an initiator.
turret out.
And this is getting ugly early. Still got a fair bit of Valorant to play, but man, it's not looking good if you are Kettering. This is a must-win round. If you lose this, your econ is broken for a very long time. That's classic stun coming on to A. As it has every time they've gone to hit here.
Satchel out.
Crisper just trying to buy himself some time.
Satchel out.
Dog not going to connect, but the information is there. Shadow trying to get into sight. And LVC is now backed up. Paranoia actually does connect on the Poe.
Time
Be careful.
Spike
Does get a
planted.
spot with the dog. That should be a kill for him, and he does get to it.
Bomb buddy out.
So Poke going to open up the slaying.
Out. Blinded.
Flash going to connect. That boom bot does hit something too. Poke gets his second.
One
Crisper
enemy remaining.
getting the help for Poke, and look at that. Crisper, Poke combining for 4. Mozzie getting the 5th. As I was saying, he was having a bad start to this game, or a very mid start to this game. He brings it back. Util and kills going his direction. Now 8-0. LVC continuing to build on this lead. And look at the econ. It's just been decimated. If you're Kettering, how much can you get done here? And look at this. They're gonna get again the stun every single round. They go to A. They've done the exact same push. They're getting onto site, but they just aren't executing in the post plan. What do they want to change up here to make this work? It seems like it's just an information game this time around. Playing much slower, looking to gather the intel that they can from where these LVC players are positioned. If they use their util correctly, they can bait these LVC players away. As Modius awaits his turn. Taken down. Spots the flash.
Placing swarm grenade.
Knows he can back them away. Gonna see a one-on-one here. Juice and Shadow. This is gonna be what kicks off our round.
Toxin screen down.
The winner of this fight will be where the spike goes. It's either C or A. And a very slow take.
I've
Quite
got your
the opposite
trail.
of what
30
we've seen
seconds left.
from Kettering in this game. The Seekers are out, and now they have the information to keep pushing forward. Orbit, though, trying to get Poke out of that top balcony. Not quite able to, but Poke gonna take some damage. Spike now going down, and Poke not gonna get the shots, so the time will not run out. Orbit will get Poke as well. Finally, it's looking positive here
Bomb buddy out.
for Kettering. Mozzie, though, gonna even the odds. Dragon out. Juice getting one. Mozzie finding his second with some help. Crisper has the rocket in hand, and he's gonna make use of it. Now it's all down to Shadow, who's all the way up top, and he will fall. A phenomenal post plant from LVC. The retake is perfect. And man, I don't even know if I have words at this point. They've tried pretty much everything. Kettering just trying to get something to go their direction.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
And so far, it's just been nothing. Again, plan being switched up, and I want to say wisely so, but I'm not sure how much it'll help. That turret gonna get the info. Mozzie gonna be in position to help. Gonna spot these players crossing, and now Modius needs to find something here. Bobby Tortilla, though, gonna wrap him up.
Shadows traveling.
And now LVC have to back away. They have to be careful here. They don't want to give up
Scout
Nico.
destroyed.
Spike planted.
Line connect. connects, but Poke's shots do not. Bobby Tortilla going off. He has 3 in this round. Juice gonna make something happen on the flank, but Bobby Tortilla making a dish. He won't get the ace. But Crisper will need one if he wants to take this round.
Satchel out.
Doesn't have a ton of time to work with.
Satchel out.
Starting to run low. Finds another. Trying to flick onto both heads, but it's not quite there. The Thrifty gonna put the first round on the board for Kettering. 22 straight rounds for LVC. Finally comes to it. The streak finally comes to an end. And maybe this will be some momentum that they desperately needed. 2 rounds left in this half. Can they make something of it? Can they at least bring this to a 9-3? And both teams with 3 ultimates in hand. This stun at the start of the round. Honestly, I don't know if I'm a big fan of it, but it doesn't matter. Here comes the Earth Shatter. That's not what it's called, but it's called something like that. As Orbit pulls out the rocket and somehow connects with Modius from distance. Position from Juice. He's behind 2 of them. Only takes down 1 though. Orbit gonna be bamboozled. Juice takes down 2. This round is now winnable. Crisper finds one with a nade and Juice closes it out. LVC again pulling out a round that, man, it feels like they shouldn't have. The ults get invested for Kettering and it's just not enough. They use the Shatter and they use the Rocket and it's still not enough to make the play happen. And LVC are going to go into this last round of the half with the teleport for Mozzie, the pit for Juice, and the lockdown for Modius. This is just retake city for LVC. 0-11 from CY. Something you're going to need to step up. Someone you're going to need to step up in this game. Does have 8 assists, but you're down when you're down 10-1. The assists are just not quite enough. The Seekers come out immediately for Bobby Tortilla, and that's going to give up the space for Kettering. Modius, though, does have the lockdown for retake. Orbit going to get first blood on Mozzie, so that's an ultimate out of the way. Poke has to be careful here. Spike is down. Juice on a flank. He does have a pit to work with. He can make this happen. And lockdown can make the same as well. He puts it in this corner. Nothing happened. Now these players are going to have to back away. Juice takes down Shadow. Nade out from Crisper. They have to be careful when it comes to time. Poke finds Orbit. Now LVC just need to make their push. They need to make it happen. CY gets their first kill of the game. That's a massive one for CY. And Dragon takes down another. As it's now all down to Poke. Can he do it? No. No time remaining. Gonna run out of ammo. 10-2 half. Kettering coming alive at the end of it.
Switching sides.
That's exactly what they needed. And Kettering close out with some momentum. But LVC, if they win this first round, they can get themselves to match point pretty quickly going into that bonus. And that's a scary prospect. This is, in my opinion, I think this is a must-win for Kettering. They don't want this to spiral. How does LVC go to attack this? It's going to be a stun onto Tortilla. But the attack is over towards C. So you can see these players from Kettering getting aggressive. They want to push straight through A. On T side. But Crisper will open it up. That's all the players off C. The second that wall goes down, there's nothing left on C. Dragon gonna at least get one back onto Modius. But LVC have the plant and they have the position now in the post. You have to be careful. They don't want to stack this too heavily though. They're kind of giving up the rest of the entire site. push through, but there's 4 players from LVC there. And now that call can go to his team, though. Bobby can at least get that to his team. Orbit takes off the head of Crisper, and now Dragon can just go for this defuse. But does Juice get through in time?
One
No,
enemy
the
remaining.
defuse still coming in. Mozzie doesn't have the angle. That is a massive loss for LVC. They very easily could have taken that, but the push, the 4-man push into tree is what's gonna cost them. Of course, from our end, that looks a bit more obvious than what it would be to the players. They didn't really have the intel on the flank, but regardless, that's what's going to give up the round for LVC there.
Hawk out.
Now the attack gonna have to change up a little bit. Crisper is 21-6, by the way. Having a heater right now. Shadow.
Shadows
Oh, man,
traveling.
okay. It's down in the smoke. Now he can call to his team. Crisper finds first blood onto Orbit. It's traded out immediately, though. It'll be a 1-for-1. Both duelists gone, and I say that, now it's another 1-for-1. As Mozzie takes down 2. Those are huge kills for Mozzie. Now LVC can get the spike down. Smoke is out towards C Pinch. Or sorry, towards the his
Last
door.
player standing.
Poke will take him down. Now it's all down to CY. He's not going to get a thing. 11-3. LVC inching closer and closer to a dominant way of closing out activation, including a 22-round streak. The opening there coming from Mozzie off the back of a 3K with that Sheriff. Something I did want to point out, his centering has been insane over the past couple of weeks.
Toxins going up.
I did get to watch him on Team 2 a little bit last season, and he's certainly improved a lot, learning from the Team 2 there and even learning from the Team 1 players now. He's been a great asset so far. Look at this pick from CY. It should be at least a kill. If it's not, it might be just considered a loss. And look at CY, just walks into it. I did see a bit of lag there, like genuinely. I think I did see CY lagging a little bit. Bit of skipping, but regardless, that'll be an unfortunate play. That could have been a huge opening for Kettering.
Scout destroyed. Here.
Not going to get anything with the dog other than intel. Crisper takes down Dragon. Now this push to the flank. Going to go up for Poke. Orbit takes down Poke, though, as Juice closes out the round. Now match point for LVC. And LVC can close it out here. They have the weapon advantage to do so. The buy's just barely there for Kettering. And now you got to win 9 straight rounds if you want this to go to OT. What does LVC have cooking up this time around? Modi's going to be watching the flank, has to be careful. Spots Orbit. Just working their way up. Have to back away. Look at this forward position. CY with a judge, though, not at range. Juice takes down 2. That Shadow falling there is massive for the side of Kettering. They needed him to stay alive there, and he's unable to do so. Now Juice I'll put down the Viper's Pit, and this very well could be it, ladies and gentlemen. We could be witnessing the end of activation for LVC and for Kettering here. Bobby Tortilla, a very long pinch. Gonna have a one-on-one with Modius, but on the other side, Poke takes down Dragon, Orbit, and Bobby in a perilous
Last player
position
standing.
as Modius takes down Bobby. The flank is gone. Orbit just tries to pack away. He's won from the ultimate, but doesn't have the time. And here comes LVC. It'll be Mozzie to close it out.
Attackers win.
13-3. A 26-3 round count for today. 13-0 map 1, 13-3 map 2. LVC dominant to close out activation. And you can see 23-7 from CRISPR, 20-4 from Juice. Just a fantastic performance all around from the LVC boys. 11 first bloods for LVC. A department where they have been succeeding so heavily. They've been dominating that first blood category for so long, and we're starting to see why. But that will do it here for us tonight. LVC with a dominant closeout to activation. We will see where they get placed next week as they go to head into the first week of the season 2 weeks from tonight. But that will do it for us here, at least for Valorant. For tomorrow, we will have Rainbow Six with their activation matchups as they close out activation. The returning national champions looking to repeat a performance, as last week they took on Columbia College and Murray State. They would go 1-1, dropping to Columbia College 7-2, and taking the series against Murray State 7-2 as well. We will see them back in action tomorrow night. That will do it for us here. We will catch you guys tomorrow for Rainbow Six. Have a great night, everybody.